Okay, let's go ahead and transform this other image. So this one has a different ID, so it's still in the figure box, but it's ID figure 3. All right, and we want to transform it. We're going to do a little bit of different transforms on this one. We're going to rotate it, but we're only going to rotate it 10 degrees. Okay, and we're going to scale it, but scale it a little bit different. They started out at different sizes, so we'll scale it a little bit different. 0.9, 0.9. And that's the scale. And then let's just go look and see where we're at for those. So we rotated it and scaled it. You just rotated it a little bit, right? Just 10 degrees, just a smidgen. Scaled it, so it's just 90% of what it was. And now let's translate it. And we're only going to translate it in the Y direction. So notice that we have lots of options here for translate. And we want to translate in the Y direction. We're going to use a negative value, and that will make it go up. And that's what we want. So minus 120 pixels. And then we'll see that image go up. And there it is. It went up. So now we've transformed 2 of the images. Let's go ahead and add a box shadow. Box shadows have a way to add some depth. So let's add box shadow to each of these. So we do box shadow. And remember, the first thing we put is a color. So we're going to put RGB, and we're going to make all the values 101. And 101. So that does the box shadow. And then we want to specify what direction, what side to put it on, or how much the offset is. So we want to do the X offset first, which is 10 pixels. That'll make it to the right. And then the Y offset, which is 10 pixels, will make it to the bottom. It'll offset to that Y direction, so the bottom. And then we're going to add a bit of blur. So 25 pixels of blur. And we refresh that, and there we have it. We have kind of a blurry shadow on the bottom and right of that image. We want to do the same thing here, except that we want it to be on the left, no, the top and the top and the right. Okay, here we have it on the right and the bottom. We want it to be on the right and the top over here. So let's go ahead and copy this, because it's going to be very similar. It's going to be the same color, but we do want it on the right, and that's how we got the 10 pixels. But now we want it on the top instead of the bottom. So we'll make that Y offset to be a negative, and that'll put it on the top instead of the bottom. And there we refresh it, and there we have that shadow on the top and the right. So there, we've transformed them and given them a box shadow. And they're looking very different than when they started.